Hello everyone. We are excited to be giving you all a presentation on the basics of computers. We will be discussing the main components of a computer first and what each part does. Then we will discuss some popular data storage options that are available to you. We are going to start off with the Central Processing Unit, commonly known as the CPU. The Central Processing Unit has millions of transistors and is called the brain of the computer. The Central Processing Unit can be considered the command center and determines how fast your computer works. Now, let's talk about the OS, operating system, on your computer. The operating system acts as the connection between the computer and the computer's hardware. The operating system comes preloaded onto most computers you buy. Examples of operating systems would be Mac OS, Windows 10, or Linux. Let's move into the memory on your computer. Memory on the computer is commonly called the random access memory, or RAM. This helps the computer store data while the computer runs and creates space for you to access and store your files. The more space you have, the easier it will be for you to multitask on your computer. There's also the read-only memory. It is non-volatile, and when data is received, it is written on a chip indefinitely, even if the computer is shut off. It is difficult to access the read-only memory because you would have to transfer the data to the RAM. If the CPU is the brain, the motherboard is the spine. It usually is the largest board inside a computer's casing and will have thin lines of metal forming circuits between the computer's components. The motherboard holds together many crucial components, including the CPU, memory, and connectors for input and output devices. The motherboard has two main poles, the North Bridge and the South Bridge, which we will discuss in further detail. The North Bridge is the main focal point of the motherboard and is a chipset that is assigned high performance tasks, such as allowing the CPU and the main memory to communicate. The North Bridge can be identified as it is typically directly connected to the CPU. The South Bridge is connected to the CPU by the North Bridge and typically handles the slower abilities of the motherboard, such as communication with input/output devices and the hard drive. Now, input and output devices are pieces of hardware that we can use to communicate with our computer. Input devices provide data like the mouse or keyboard. We use these things to give the computer directions and information. Output devices produces or displays the results. An example would be a printer or your monitor. Input and output devices are types of peripherals, which we'll talk about next. Peripherals are external pieces of hardware that work with your computer. They may be input, output, or storage devices, which we'll talk about in a moment. Peripheral devices greatly help us be more efficient when working with computers, but can also slow your computer down if there's too many. Now that we've explained the basic parts of a computer, of how a computer runs, and how the parts communicate with each other, we'll introduce you to several different types of storage options. Hard drives are the storage component of a computer. There are many types of hard drives. Hard drives for desktop computers can be stored inside the computer or on the outside. Laptops are mobile and require flexibility. Therefore, the hard drive is stored within the computer. Unlike the traditional storage devices, cloud storage uses the internet to store data. Providers like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon provide cloud storage. Cloud storage is cost-efficient, more reliable, and more secure than most storage components. Flash drives are another data device. Flash drives are usually small and portable. The most common flash drive is the USB flash drive. Flash drives are commonly used to back up computer files. Finally, everyone recognizes DVDs, but did you know that you can use them as a storage option? When we store information on DVDs, a small and precise laser actually burns dots into the DVD and creates a pattern, similar to vinyl records, that can be decoded into ones and zeros by our computers. A single Standard one-sided DVD can hold up to 4.7 gigabytes of data, which equates to 2 hours of video. We hope with this presentation you have a better understanding of the main components of a computer and storage options. We know that was a lot of information. However, we wanted to ensure that we could deliver the information in a simplistic way. The purpose is to allow you all to have the common knowledge of your computer and use this information to your advantage. Thanks for joining.